Hello everybody and welcome back to my continuation of my book reading of The Client. Chapter 2. In Trouble with the Cops. Ricky was sick. He seemed to be crying, but there were no tears. His skin was cold and wet. His thumb was in his mouth, and his eyes were open, and his body was shaking. Mark was worried. He remembered a television program about some kids who saw a horrible accident. After that, their thumbs were in their mouths like babies for a year. "Mark," said his mother, "how did you cut your face?" Mark didn't want to lie to his mother, but he didn't want to tell her about the man with the gun either. "It's a long story, Mom," he said. Diane sighed and bit her nails. They were sitting in the small room in St. Peter's Hospital. She lit a cigarette and watched her younger son. When she got home from work and saw Ricky, she had called the family doctor. He had called an ambulance immediately. Now they were waiting for a hospital doctor to look at Ricky. It was past supper time and Mark was restless. He opened the door. "I'll go and get us a hamburger, Mom," he said. Mark stepped outside the room and a hand grabbed him. He looked up into the face of a cop. "Mark's way?" asked the cop. Mark nodded. "We found the body," said the cop. "What body?" said Mark. "Come on, Mark. We know you live in Tucker Trailer Park. You made a call, didn't you?" Mark wanted to lie, but he said, "Yes, sir." "Well, Mark, let's go and get those hamburgers," said the cop, and he took Mark down to the hospital cafe. "So, how did you find the body, Mark?" "My brother and I were playing in the trees." "Did you take any drugs?" "No, sir," said Mark. "But you were smoking," said the cop. "We found the dead cigarettes. Stay away from drugs, son." "Yes, sir." "Did you see the man before he shot himself?" "No, sir." "So you just found him dead. Have you ever seen a dead body before?" "Only on TV, sir." The cop smiled. "Kids saw everything on television these days." "So what happened to your face?" he asked. "I got into a fight, but the other kid started it." "The other kid always does. What's his name?" You don't know him," said Mark. "Well, I might want to talk to him," said the cop. "Now tell me, why didn't you give your name to 911? "I don't know." "Come on, Mark. You must know why." "I don't know. Afraid, I guess." Mark tries to look very young and innocent. "Do you think I'm lying?" "I don't know, kid. Your story is full of holes," said the cop. "I think you were there, smoking, in the trees, and I think you saw the whole thing. That's why your brother's in shock, isn't he? That's why you're so afraid." Mark stopped. Mark's heart stopped, and his blood ran cold. He tried to seem calm, but his hands were shaking while he sat on them. Things were happening too fast. Could he go to prison? Could Ricky go mad? He needed time to think. "Eat your food now," said the cop. "You better get back to your mom. You can bring your cook also with you." And that was the end of chapter 2 of The Client. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.